And we're live. Hey, everybody, it's me, Mama D. And my guest tonight is Lora, Cheadle. Sometimes the word plank in the middle of there, but I think that's just for Facebook.
Exactly.
There we go. So long as you don't ask me to plank, we're okay. I've tried that once. It's like, never again. Thank you. Mm-mm. Okay, so let's get your bio. Okay, you are a former attorney, burlesque dancer, author, speaker, and life choreographer. I love that word. Extraordinaire. She empowers high achieving women to reveal their smart, sexy, spiritual selves so they can fall in love with their bodies, themselves, and their lives and enjoy everything they've worked so hard to create. Through the five steps of FLAUNT, let her choreograph a journey that allows you to release self judgment, shame, overwhelm, and uncover the power, beauty, and joy within, all with a wink and a smile. Ta-da! Welcome!
Thank you.
Well,
I'm so excited to be here and talk with you tonight.
I have been looking forward to this because your energy every time I see your posts on Facebook and you just sort of pop in, it's like the energy is just like so very up there. So I'm like, yay! Someone can match my craziness. Okay,
Yes, it's perfect.
one of the things I have to say this, I want this to get on the audio part of the show, is that you have this saying, and I'm going to steal it every so often, but like I said, I will tag you when I do. In order for gems to sparkle most brilliantly, all facets must be exposed. Like gems, even though our souls are different, we are capable of sparkling. And we go through, our souls go through all kinds of stuff. It's funny and lazy.
Yes.
That
Yes.
it's great. Hey, my we have one person in YouTube, and that's my friend the Haggis Hunter. Hey, gorgeous, how you doing? So, okay, so tell everybody, other than what I just explained, a little bit more about you.
Yeah, I'd love to. Like you said, I was a corporate attorney for 10 years. And the reason that I went to law school was because I really wanted to fight for justice. I really wanted to help the underdog. I really wanted to help people expose themselves and be able to be everything that they were. And it was really frustrating because after practicing law for a long time, I realized I wasn't really doing good for people. It wasn't that I was
Mm,
doing bad for people, but I wasn't creating that kind of change that I wanted to create. That a lot of the changes that I was really going after were an internal shift. That we had to create that justice for ourselves, that we had to be brave and open ourselves up and be vulnerable and be authentic, and that was truly the only way to create justice, because abuses of power happen all the time.
mm,
hmm all the time, and we can't change other people. I mean, that's
oh,
the bottom line. We can't change other people. We can only change ourselves. And when we change ourselves, it changes the way other people respond to us. So I
exactly.
left law. Yeah.
Mm,
And I went back to school and I became, a whole variety of things. But I became an angel therapy practitioner. I became a hypnotherapist. I learned integrated energy therapy. And I started working with people, mostly women, but some men too, on stepping into their power, on
mm-hmm.
connecting to their intuition, on being everything they could be and allowing themselves to sparkle as only they could sparkle.
Sure, sure. Now, okay, when you left law, what did your family say? Because you kind of went like, for most people, from law to, and I'm going to call it the spiritual area. What did the family kind of go? Have you lost your mind?
I was surprised because I thought most people would say, "You are
Yeah.
crazy. You are totally out to lunch."
Mm-hmm.
However, people knew me and they knew my heart and they knew my passions. And they were pretty supportive of that, which was nice. Now, I did have some pushback, like, how are you going to pay the bills?
Yeah,
And are you
yeah,
going to keep your law license active? And it was like, yes, and I can figure this out. But I think people who knew me understood it more than people who didn't know me as well.
yeah. Like the people who knew the real you. And
Yes.
but the thing is, you still kept your law license active, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you needed to, if somebody wanted you to, and you thought it was the right case or the right cause, I'll say, then that's
Yes.
something you can go back and help with.
Absolutely.
And and
Absolutely.
and it's funny because in this field, and just in the at least two of my guests, recent guests, have been lawyers.
Really?
And one is Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
He's still practicing law, and he's a practicing psychic. He's a medium, and he's an amazing guy. And he's a lawyer.
I love
Florida,
that.
the Supreme Court, the whole spiel. He can do all that stuff. And there was somebody else I can't remember right off the top of my head, but was also a lawyer, practicing lawyer, and still did the I don't know what the metaphysical, the spiritual realm. One of my friends calls it the woo woo realm. So I was like,
I
okay, yeah,
like that
I'll take it. I'll take that one. Not a problem there. But and the thing is, you can work the two together. And because you focus
Yes,
more on women, because we need that. We need that help. Some
we
people need
do.
that help more than others. We want to shine, but
Hmm.
sometimes it's just not there. So to have somebody else just sort of, be there to help you, that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that you made that distinction between men and women because, yes, some men feel very boxed into their role too.
Hmm.
Some men have been raised to believe boys don't cry and, boys don't do this and boys don't nurture. And they too get boxed into their roles. It just, from where I stand, growing up as a female, I felt that I was boxed into my role, too. I couldn't
Yeah.
be, as a woman, you have to be attractive or otherwise you're like fuddy-duddy, blah, 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 blah. You're too heavy, you're too whatever. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
But then
Like
if
that.
you're too pretty, you're judged by being too pretty, you're judged by being not fancy enough. You're judged
Yeah.
by being too heavy, you're judged if you're too thin. You're
Hmm.
judged if you dye your hair, you're judged if you don't. You're judged, like, women are just judged all the time. And
Yeah, like a guy can shave his head bald and get away with it. If you or I shaved our head
totally.
bald, it'd be like the world. Okay, my husband might divorce me, but the world would come to an end for some people. It's like, oh my God, no.
Yeah. Yeah. And like
So
that,
yeah.
men can have kids and
Yep.
nobody questions their ability to stay at work or stay focused on their career. But if a woman has a baby, are you sure you want to do this? And how committed are you? And aren't you on the mommy track? Wait a minute.
I know.
Why am I being
But my
judged?
husband's on the daddy track, so he can do things.
See?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh no, it. We are judged by different standards, but the thing is, we don't have to stay that way. We don't have to allow that. And it's
No.
it's like I said, it's great that there are people out there like you that help, that put people on that path. And I
Yeah.
like that one that you're a, what is it? First off, let's get before I get to that one, burlesque dancer.
I love burlesque dancing. For people who don't know what burlesque is, it's actually an art form. Like
It
Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream is a parody. It's a burlesque, and it takes taboo topics and it pokes fun at them, and it
mm-hmm.
shows the hypocritical nature of things. And we were talking about judging women. Think about women and like their breasts. If you are breastfeeding a baby in public, it's like, ew, nobody wants to see
Mm-hmm.
that. Put that away,
Yep.
cover it up. Ew, that's so gross. Well, that's why we have breasts. But
Yep.
on the flip side, yeah,
A
it's
guy
like
can go
time
around
for
walk with. Yeah.
totally Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, Victoria's Secret fashion show. Everyone's like, yeah, show it. I want to see that. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's hypocritical. And
Yeah.
it's things like that that burlesque poke fun of. And that's why semi-nudity is used, never full nudity. But
No.
it's stripping away the layers. And it's kind of making fun of the fact that, ooh, people, like in burlesque, they do a glove peel a lot, and people get really excited. It's an arm. It's a hand.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
can
just,
smack you
making
when it comes out from behind the glove. It'll smack you. Don't worry about it.
totally, it's the same thing. So it's making fun of that, and it's very emotional because we are able to, when you dance burlesque, you're able to show yourself as you are,
Yeah.
because we are as we are. That's all we can be. And it's
Yeah.
just such a celebration of our own uniqueness, whether, again, we're skinny, we're fat, we have big hips, we have small hips, we have, big shoulders, we have little arms, we have whatever it is. It's who we
Exactly.
are. Show it and celebrate it and dance it and move it.
Yeah. And the originality of burlesque, all the women were healthy women. They were not tiny
Yes.
little things. I'm not gonna say skinny because you're not skinny. You're tiny. I was never
Right.
tiny my whole entire life. Not even when I was born.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, our bodies are our bodies, and whatever they are, that's their body. So let's celebrate them all. We all have them, and the joy is in the movement and in the activity and in the freedom. So feel good and be free and have fun. And
But
that's what I love burlesque.
You do a yoga and burlesque class.
I do yoga-lesque, and it's amazing. Oh yeah, because we symbolically energy. Okay, backing up a little bit. We are all energetic beings, right? So like if somebody says something mean and nasty to you, know how you feel it? And it's like you close down your heart and you shut it up, and you feel weird, or people are saying threatening things and you just feel it in your energy field. So yeah, yoga and the chakras is one of the tools that I use to help people become aware of the energy. Where is that heartbreak? Where was your voice shut down? Where have you lost connection to spirit? So then we get playful with it. We use burlesque, and it's like, you might take off the hat and throw it away. Well, that's opening up that crown chakra to connect with spirit. Your voice may have been shut down as a child or as a girl. Don't talk. You can take off your necklace, you can throw it away, and you can energetically remove all of those blockages that have been shutting you down for years. And it's fun.
It is. It sounds great. Okay. That yoga-lesque is on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. MST, which is Mountain Central Standard Time.
Mountain, yes.
And 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If people want to join this, now I know it's on Zoom. If people want to join this, they have to connect with you. So they will find you, Lora Plank Cheadle.
They can go find me a couple different, Lora at loracheadle.com. Lora. It's the simple way to spell Lora. Lora at loracheadle.com. You can find me on Facebook, Lora Plank Cheadle, Instagram, any of the social, and you can just shoot me a message.
Yes, we can find you Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and your website. So if you cannot find her, message Mama D, and I will tell you where to go. In the nice way.
Yes. And if you East Coast people want an earlier class for you guys, I'm happy to do an earlier class if we have,
How
enough
many people are usually in your class?
It totally depends.
Okay. You have stuff for beginners?
It's all for beginners. Yes.
Oh,
we all start exactly where we are.
Okay. Because my daughter does yoga, and she has a very good friend who, I don't know if she still does, but she used to do burlesque. And I was like, I can't watch these. No, I'm going to just sit over there in the corner. I'll be fine. This make me feel old. Okay, guys, I'm done, but yeah. So you also have, because with me, you're going to realize I kind of sort of bounce around everywhere. You have Monday angel card readings at Monday at 10:30 in the morning or 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 Mountain Standard Time, and 12:30 Eastern Standard Time on the Flaunt Flock or in. I'm assuming that's a group.
Yeah, that's my Facebook group. It's the Flaunt Flock. And yes, so every week I start off the week with an angel card reading. And if you've got, specific questions, you can ask me those questions either live or you can, message them and I'll answer them. But it's such a nice way to start the week because we can
It is.
connect to the angels, we can connect to spirit, we can just center and ground and start our week kind of with a direction instead of like, whoa, hold on, it's Monday again.
Yeah, I love that when some people go, "Oh, geez, not Monday again." I used to look for okay, now every day sort of rolls together. But when I was working, I used to look forward to Mondays because I
Yes.
would go and torture people at work with a
I
smile, of
love
course.
that.
With a smile, of course. Okay, you also have a flaunt podcast every Wednesday.
I do. I do. Yeah. My podcast is on, it's a radio show, a syndicated radio show on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, and it's 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can catch it, live, but it's not really live. It's pre-recorded, but it just airs live. And then I also release that on my website. And again, that's Lora, Lora, Cheadle, CHEADLE.com as a podcast. So then that way you can you do it on Stitcher or Apple Music or Spotify or any of the places that you listen to your podcast. And that way you can listen to them on demand because live is amazing, but sometimes you just miss it.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
Yes, we've all been there. Yeah.
But I'm hoping I can get you turned over to the side of the video live as well because I think that it'd be great for people to see your energy, watch you just like blossom, you just bounce.
Thank
So
you. Yeah, I would love to do it live. I think that would be really fun. And maybe you can teach me. You already taught me about how to do it. So I'd like to do that.
yeah, it is so simple and it's like I said, a lot of people are using it now, using StreamYard. So if anybody's out there who wants to do a live video podcast, I don't know what else you would call it, show, check out StreamYard.com. It's a great place. It's a great bunch of guys who created this. Okay, now, if you had to say the most important thing that you try and help women to understand, what would that be?
Oh, just one thing.
Well, you can
I think
start with one.
I'm like, let's talk for an hour. No.
Okay, that's what we have at least.
Exactly. I think there's several different things, but I think the most important is trusting yourself because we're raised to be good little girls. We're raised to please our parents. We're raised to,
Yes.
play nice. We're raised to get good grades. We're supposed to obey everybody. And the answers are within. They're always within. And it's not that we can't seek education from other people. Of course, we should talk to other people. Of course, we should learn. Of course, we should be polite and learn how to get along. But it's that seeking to please. We need to seek to please ourselves, not please other people. Because when we're always focusing on the external, we're never going to be happy. Yeah, it's always, I will be happy when. I will be happy when I find a partner. I will be happy when I have a baby. I will be happy when the kids leave the house. I will be happy when I have the car, when I have the bag, when I wear a size 6. That's that external happiness. It's all internal. Make yourself happy now.
Oh yeah. I love when people say, "Well, what are you happy about? What were you first thing? What's the first thing you did in the morning? What were you happy about?" I was happy I woke up.
Yes.
That I could put my 2 feet on the floor and still feel and not, So
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's go ahead.
And I was going to say, well, I like how you said that because bad things happen all day, every day. And I'm not a pessimist, but bad things happen all day. I've had horrible things happen in my life. This virus is really difficult. I can be miserable and fall into that whole victimhood, or I can still be happy. And I'm going to be happy. And like that, put your feet on the floor. It doesn't matter that there's a world pandemic. You be happy.
Yeah. Find that silver lining in everything that goes on. Like that's my thing.
Yes.
You can have something horrific going on. And I've always used the example of a good friend of mine. he ended up with cancer, and it affected his neurological. So he's sort of his body is shutting down and going numb. So
Oh,
he had to stop working. He had to move into a home. But the silver lining to that is he picked up a pen, picked up artwork. He started drawing, and his
really?
artwork is amazing. It's my personal preference, of course, is the butterfly. I've bought
Yes.
two of his artworks, and it's just pencil sketches. And it's just, I mean, it's nothing super fancy. It's just simple. But that was the silver lining. He never would have realized that he was a great artist, you know, until this
Right.
happened. So he's like, okay, fine, you found the silver lining. Shut up now.
Oh, I love that.
So it in every way you have to, find that silver lining. Sometimes it's difficult with this pandemic. It's not easy, but the thing is you can't look at the whole thing. You have to look at, hello, today my silver lining is my feet are on the ground.
Mhm.
Your dog hasn't peed on the floor. your
Yet.
your your son picked up his shirts off the floor, or daughter, hung away the laundry that she was supposed to. There's always something that's good. As silly as it sounds, and some people will be like, oh, you're always so happy. No, no, I hit my icky moments. We're gonna put it that not
Of
polite,
course.
politely. I'm a redhead and a Scorpio. I get my yicky moments, trust me.
Yes.
But it doesn't last long. I don't allow it to last long. Gotta
Yes.
find that. I'll find that. Have a temper tantrum, lay down on the floor, do that little redheaded temper tantrum thing, and then
Yes.
make sure I can get back up. But and then it's over with, because it
Yeah.
dwelling on the negative is not going to help it.
No. And I love that you just said that too about having your temper tantrum, because I think that's important too. When you're in a bad mood or you're frustrated, have your tantrum
Hmm.
and, own it. And I'm in a bad mood. I'm having a hard time today, and this is what I need to do. And I can still wake up tomorrow and be fresh. And then I can also find that stopping spot. Okay,
Yeah.
I've been grouchy. What was it? I flew on Friday, and it made me grouchy because I was in fear. I was in fear of this virus.
Mm.
I'm looking at people and they're having their masks pulled down, and I'm getting angry and I'm getting confrontational, and I'm feeling really weird, and I'm recognizing I'm in fear and I'm not acting normal and I'm not processing
Yeah.
well. And that's okay. And then it was like, I landed and I decompressed, and I apologized to who I needed to apologize to, because I was like, I was really stressed all day. Sorry.
Oh
But
no.
that's okay. That's why we're humans, and we have that, but just own it. Just own it, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of people are afraid to show they're having bad days. And will I show? Yeah, I do little hidden things. Like, the other day was some things that go wrong, and you put it in your effort bucket. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I was having a moment. I had promised to do something. In the beginning, I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. And then after doing it, I was like, oh, why the hell didn't I listen to myself?
Right.
You know,
Right.
chuck it bucket and let it go. So have that angry moment and be done with it. I used to scare the bejeebers out of when I used to work. When a client would get me frustrated, because I work with the public. I work at a convenience store. When a client would get me frustrated, and it's
Yeah.
rare to do that, but some of them did have the ability to do that. I would finish serving the rest of my customers in front of me. I would get somebody to come replace me. I said, is there trash to put out? Like, yeah. So I would go in, and the first time I did it is, we have a very heavy door that goes to the back door, back of the store. And I slammed it. It shook the whole building. Like, okay. And then I'm outside throwing garbage bags. Just, this was, it's been a while since I did this, but throwing garbage bag, just that physical release was like, so when I came back in, the door closed quietly, and everybody looked at me again like, are you okay? Like, yes, I'm fine now. I'll take my place back away. Leave me alone.
Oh, I
But
love that. Yeah.
you have to allow yourself that moment of release, because
Yes.
if you don't allow that release, like you said, you were in fear, traveling in fear. There was so many things going, but you let it out without no big explosion. You didn't make the plane shake, but
No.
the little frustrations that you had with people were enabling you to let it go. Because if you just sort of like held it in, and then in the end, just like you get off the plane and you're just one ball of anger and frustration. So pity the poor
Yes.
person who met up with you first, who just sort of
Yes.
pushed that button, right? You know. So
hmm
yeah,
And that's it. So much anger that we give to other people, we're
Mhm.
giving it to the wrong person,
Oh yeah,
And same thing when people attack us sometimes, whether it's a nasty comment on Facebook or it's something in real life, we're the recipient of maybe 50 years worth of stuff that they just have to spew. And we happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. We're that straw that broke the camel's back. And I think sometimes just having that awareness helps us all not take things personally. If you're driving along and somebody flips you off, it's truly not you. And it's really not okay to take it personally because it's not about us. And it
yeah.
just makes it, I think, better and easier to understand.
But I didn't notice that we had. I was having too much fun talking to you. I didn't notice the comments in the chat room. Ashley, my adorable
Hey, there we
friend,
go.
she says, "I make my TCOB, take care of business list on Sunday, so that I look forward to Mondays because I start my new list of goals for that week."
Yes. And I love that because goals are exciting. And
Yeah,
and I like that. I like the frame of that they're goals. It's not my new list of have tos. It's my
yeah.
new
My
list of what
to-do
do I
chore
get?
list, and yeah,
Yeah. What do I get to do? I get to do things every Monday.
yeah. You get it. People were like, "Oh, it's gonna start all over." Yeah, but it's gonna start, but it's not gonna be the same thing as it was last week.
Nope.
Unless even I'm sorry, but even people who work on a factory line, things
Yes.
maybe they got to do the same thing over and over again, but there's always something different that happens, and that's why I loved my job, because every person who came in, even if I saw the same customer 3 times a day, each time was different, you know. and
hmm
and I and I was able to pick on people. Police officers came in, I said, glasses off. Like, what? No.
What?
I said, wait a minute, this is my store. I'm the boss. Out there, you're the boss. In here, glasses off. Well, what if I don't? I got gas to pay. Out. He said, well, what if I leave and don't pay for the gas? Simple. Pick up the phone, 911. Hello. There was a red signal, a little beep. Oh, and this guy was new and he didn't know me. And he's like, okay. So he walked out the store, walked right back in, took his glass off. Hey, darling.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah.
I can make it after 17 years being in the same place. I have no fear of picking on people.
Exactly. Exactly. And like that, you made it fun and you're
Yes.
making their day better too, because it's not just a normal transaction. It's somebody that they remember, and that makes it fun. And if your life is truly so monotonous that you hate it so much, then it's just a nice little nudge from the universe that, hey, it might be time to try something different
Yeah.
where you can tease and laugh and have fun.
Exactly. I can't not laugh. Okay. We
No.
have another comment in the chat, and that's from a haggis hunter. Thanks, that really helped me understand the feelings I have been feeling recently while working. It was fear, the change that was happening so quickly. Lots to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Fear is such an intense thing because it it constricts us. And like we were saying earlier, we react towards the fear, but we can't react towards the virus. The
Yeah.
virus isn't, yeah, somebody standing there that we can argue with or that we can get our point across to. We are completely at the virus's mercy, kind of the same way that we are completely at whoever, the patriarchy's mercy, or the government's mercy, or the universe's mercy. There's things we can't control, and then we have that fear response, and then it starts getting us weird in other areas of our lives where we can control it, even though it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say we really have no control but we don't. So what is your choice? Be happy anyway,
Yeah.
or be grouchy miserable? Well, I'm going to be happy anyway.
I'll be grouchy miserable to Scott Stevenson in the chat room. Sorry. There's a saying that's been going around Facebook for a long time, and I've always liked it. You cannot control other people's reactions and actions. All you can do is control your own actions and reactions.
Yes.
And for me, my biggest thing is when people get all stressed and frustrated and start yelling at me. When I was at my job, I just stand there and smile. And sorry, but that would irritate them even more, which would make me laugh even more. It's because they're not really getting mad at me, and they also need that place to vent it out.
Vent.
You know, it's like I actually had a customer come in one time, and he was like losing his marbles, and he came in and he was yelling and screaming and shouting at me. And like I said, I just stood there and smiled, nodded my head like a little doll on the back of the car is going, and it's just, yep. He did what he had to do. He bought what he had to buy. Then he left. And a couple of days later, he came in and he apologized. I was really having a bad day. I'm sorry I did that to you. I said, cool. I said, you need a place to vent, and hey, I'm good. You know, I knew it wasn't personal.
Yes.
You know?
No, it's not personal. My book, I think you and I had talked about this before, but FLAUNT is an acronym. And those are the 5 steps that I encourage people to do every day so they can stay in their own power and so they can really be in control of themselves. Because like you were saying, we can't control other people. And I'll just go through those 5 steps if that's okay. Because I think it'll really help people. The F stands for find your fetish. And I think fetish is a fun word, but it's for finding that thing that you would do just because it's fun. That you're not reading because it looks good, not reading because you're going to get a promotion, not working out because you want to lose weight, not, you know what I mean? It's
exactly.
It's doing, like when kids play, they play because it's fun. And then when it's not fun, they go do something different. So every day we need to do that. And we can play, we can find our fetish for whatever, an hour, for 5 minutes, 2 minutes here, a minute there. However, put that into your day every day.
Yeah.
And then the second step of FLAUNT is L, and that's laugh out loud. And that kind of goes hand in hand with that find your fetish. We can laugh with people, at the world, at ourselves. There's so much funny happening every day. Kids, babies, animals, rude Facebook comments. I mean, really, there's a lot of humor out there. It is fun.
You look at it from the angle that it's not affecting you. Some of the comments on Facebook are totally hysterical.
Yeah, really funny. And then the next step, AU, I put together, and that stands for accept unconditionally. And that's kind of everything that we've been talking about. We have to accept ourselves and other people unconditionally. We can't change a lot of things that are going on, and we can't change where we are at right now. We can take steps to make ourselves better or different, but we have to accept where we're at right now. And there's so much mental wasted energy that we spend thinking that somebody's going to be different, thinking that if I say this, they're going to do this, and then I'm going to say this, and then they're going to do that, and then they're going to do this, and then if I do, no. People are who they are. We've got to accept them unconditionally and just let everything go. Take everything at face value. And then that next step is N, and that's for navigate the negative. And I really believe that nothing is negative or positive. It just is. It's our interpretation of whether something is negative or positive that makes it so. And the example that I love giving and I use all the time is an iceberg. If you are going to Alaska to look at the icebergs, you want to see icebergs. You're going to see whales and it's going to be amazing. If you're on the Titanic, an iceberg is really, 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 really bad. The iceberg didn't change. The iceberg is what it is. It's your interpretation of it. And all we can do is navigate. You can navigate smack dab into it, or you can go over it or backtrack or detour. And whatever you have to do doesn't really matter. You just have to do what you need to do to get there. You just have to navigate. If you're driving home from work and there's construction or an accident or a flood, nobody ever in the history of humanity has jumped out of their car and said, I'm never going to go home again. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
You take a detour. It might take you 3 extra hours, but you make it home that night. You don't quit.
Yeah.
But in our lives, we quit.
Way too many times.
Oh, yeah. And then that last step of flaunt is that T. And that's kind of what we started off with. It's trusting in your truth. It's seeking to please you. It's finding out what's inside of you. Like we were talking about the gem. How can I sparkle? Why am I here? What is my gift to the world? How can I most effectively be me so I can have fun, so I can empower other people, so I can live in the state of joy and connection? Yeah. And when people do those 5 steps of flaunt every day, it really does make every day better. It's not that things will always go your way.
No.
But even when they don't, you're still going to make yourself satisfied and happy. You'll go to bed every day being like, yeah, I did it.
Do you have the 5 steps written down somewhere?
I do.
Okay, so after this show, I will get it. I'm assuming it's a picture or it's a something, and I will connect it to this show. So and I'll probably steal it for a few other times. People need to see it over again.
Perfect. Yeah, anytime, because it's important. It's a practice.
It's like learning to walk. You have to do things one step at a time. You know, you're gonna fall down on your tuchus many times, but you know,
many times.
Many times. Kindness is free. Sprinkle that stuff everywhere you go. That is from Dave in our chat room. Thank you, Dave.
Oh, I like that. I like that. And I loved what you said about you're going to fall down, because I also find that sometimes when we're really close to having a transition, when we're really close to that aha moment where things change, it's almost like the universe is like, ha, do you really mean it? Boop. And it knocks you down.
There you go.
Yeah, just as a test.
Just let's see how much you really want this.
Yeah. So sometimes when those come, I'm like, well, yay, thank you. I'm close now, because that was a big challenge.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a comment in the chat room. My co-host on Thursday night, the Fox Den, Gina B. She would like to know what kind of computer or phone you're using, because you have such a great, clear picture.
Say hi, Gina. I met Gina years and years and years ago. And I'm looking. I don't know what kind of. It's a new laptop. So
you'll have to send us the information.
I will. Yeah, I'm like, it's a Windows laptop, but I don't know which one it is. But I'm glad the picture's good.
Yeah, it's amazing. No issues whatsoever. You look just plain.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to give me that flaunt. Okay.
Yes,
now, if people want to get your book, they can get it on Amazon's Barnes and Noble. And of course,
you can get it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, IndieBound. My publisher is New World Library, and if you want an autographed copy, you can get it from my website too, and I'll send you an autographed copy, which is kind of fun too.
Yes, it is. I'll just get that. I'll call you.
I love that. Exactly. I need this. And it's fun because it really...
Go ahead.
Yeah, it really helps solidify, because for every step of flaunt, I give a couple of practices that you can do. So then it starts helping to solidify the practice. So then it becomes second nature to flaunt every day. So you can start living your sparkle, is what I like to call it. You know, living that joy.
Yeah. And I love the book, the title of the book, Flaunt. Because people used to think, flaunting is like, flaunting your money, flaunting your beauty. Flaunt is not a bad word, and this is what you're making it out to be. It's just a simple thing. Aside from the breakdown, it's just it makes it fun.
Yeah,
finding your fetish.
Yep. Yeah, because most of us, we don't flaunt because we're afraid. What will people think? I mean, how
Yeah.
many of the listeners have had that happen to them? They're like, I really, really want to do this, but what will people think?
Yep.
And flaunting is like, no, no, no. If that's what you want to do, you go out there and do it, not to be
Exactly.
obnoxious, but because it's you. So
Yeah.
flaunt yourself and go do what you want to do. And if other people think something, that's their problem, not
Yeah.
yours.
And the thing is, when you're doing what you want to do, when you're flaunting what your favorite is, more than likely, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to help somebody. You know,
Yes.
and this is what this show is about. For me, the people that I
Yes.
meet, I know that there's going to be at least one person, if not in the chat room, in the after shows, who you're going to be getting. You're going to be reaching somebody, and you did it today with Haggis Hunter.
Yes.
So you're always going to reach somebody just by doing what you love.
Yes. Oh my goodness, absolutely. And that was one of the things, circling back around to burlesque, that was so shocking to me when I started doing burlesque. I was doing it because it was fun. I grew up dancing and in theater, so I love costumes and I love music and choreography. And then I would come off the stage, and after every single show, I would have women, middle-aged women, my age, come up to me and be like crying, and they'd say, "Thank you. You have set me free. If you can dare to get up there and celebrate your body the way it is, I can do that too." And then people would be like, "You have stretch marks and you're still pretty." Yeah.
Yeah.
You're 50 and you're 50 and you can still look sexy. Oh my gosh, I can do that
Excuse
too.
me, wait a minute. How old are you? I'm supposed to ask, but
I'm
go ahead.
51 now.
Okay. So everybody, this is what burlesque does.
Yeah. Because it sets you free, because it's not an age. You're no longer limited. You don't have to be a certain way. You just have to be you, and to really fall in love with you.
Yeah.
You
this.
have to
Ashley
fall in
says-
love with you.
Yeah. Ashley in the chat room says, when you're, try this again, when you're authentic, people feel that, and you'll reach the right people.
Yes, Ashley. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, when you're totally you, then you set other people free to totally be themselves. And then we're all better for it, because we're not all pretending to be a certain way. I have to be this way. No, you don't.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you pretend to be somebody else or something else, you have to remember for the next time you saw those people who you were. So if you're if you're just you, I'm just me, Mama D, Darlene. I don't change for anybody.
Right.
So people will meet me and they'll know exactly who I am. And when they see me 5 years from now, they'll know exactly what. But if they saw me 10 years ago, they'd be like, "Who the heck are you?"
Yes.
Because everybody changes and grows. The person I am today was not the person I was, we're going to say 10 years ago. 5 years ago is when I sort of came out of my spiritual closet.
Got it.
But I grew into the person that I am now, and everything that you did in the past makes you who you are today. And just be that crazy redhead, ginger, blonde, whatever, and just be yourself. Then way you won't have to put up a front to anybody else, and then remember, was I nice to this person last time or not?
Hey, what are we here for?
Dude, I'm nice to everybody. It's like
And all humans crave that. I love how Ashley used that, authentic is the word. All humans crave authentic connection. And it's interesting, because we put on these masks because we think, I'm going to impress somebody, I'm going to impress them, and I'm going to get authentic connection. Well, the more masks, the more layers you put on, the harder it is to actually connect with somebody. And that's why I use burlesque in my work. It's like, I put on the attorney hat because I want you to be impressed with my education. I put on the, something fancy because I want you to be impressed with my money. I put on something yoga-y with the Om symbol because I want you to be impressed with my spirituality. I put on all these things trying to impress people, because from my heart, I want an authentic connection. But when we're all layered up, we can't find that authentic connection. So it's like strip down, strip out of your pretenses, strip out of everything and show your heart, reveal. I call it your naked self-worth. Reveal your naked self-worth, because when you're naked, I know who you are. I can have a conversation with you and I'm like, you're awesome. And you're not pretending, oh, I've got this amazing, Angel Meadows conversation. You're just you.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
we can connect.
David in the chat room says, we are some of our yesterdays.
Yeah.
I like that one, David.
Love that, David.
I keep calling him David. It's Dave. I don't know if it's David. That's probably what his mother called him when he was in trouble, David.
Exactly.
Do you realize we are almost out of time? We have 15 minutes left, so let's continue this and enjoy. Is there something? First off, is there another book in the works? I know this is the new one, but I've learned that authors always have another book. If it's not already done, it's there and it's ready to come out.
Yes. There are 2 other books, actually. My books are Flaunt, that's the one that was just published, Flourish, and Flirt. And Flourish, this is really emotional, but I'll tip you guys off. I'm a survivor of some pretty heinous infidelity. My husband of 23 years spent 15 of those years having affairs with 5 women, and I had no idea. And it gutted me because it made me question my whole reality.
Yeah.
Am I worth it? Am I worthy? What's real? What's not real? Going through that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. However, the person that I am on this side of that experience is not somebody I would change for the world. And it really caused me, we were talking about the universe kind of testing us sometimes. It really allowed me to test myself. Do I believe that you can be happy despite anything? Do I believe that I've got the power within? Do I believe that I'm worthy enough and that this doesn't impact me? And yes, the answer was yes. And my husband and I have actually worked through that. It's taken a lot of time and a lot of work. But we both, again, got naked and bared our hearts and bared our souls. And the understanding we have for each other now is so much stronger and deeper and more authentic, that the bond is better.
Yeah.
So Flourish is about my journey to rock bottom and then flourishing as I came out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that goes back to your saying about the stones.
Yes.
A diamond doesn't come out perfect. It has to be tumbled. It has to be sanded. It has to be drilled. And that's exactly when you went through a major tumble. And look at the diamond that sits in front of us now.
Yes. Thank you. That's yes. And then my last book that will come out after that is Flirt. And that's all about the idea of flirting is fun. Flirting is teasing. We tend to think about flirting as like this, weird skanky pickup thing. And it's not. Babies flirt. Animals flirt. Flirting is about our relationship with life. And we can either look at life as something that is serious and that it's going to beat us up and wear us down, or we can look at it as something to flirt with and something to experience and something to have joy from. And it's my way of moving through life. I move through life in a flirtatious manner, and that's what that book is about.
I have a friend who believes the same. He's a giant flirt. Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he doesn't flirt with an ulterior motive.
Yes.
He flirts, his flirt, he'd be like, "Oh my God, but you are gorgeous today." And that's for us, some people would be like, "Oh my God, what's he doing?" But that's just him. And his wife is like, "But I have no issues," because his wife and him are a paranormal team and they work well together. And he flirts with women in front of her, and she just kind of goes, "Oh, here he goes again." She has no
Right.
it for her. It's fun because she understands him, and this is his personality. So flirting
Yes.
is not a negative thing. To some people, it
Nope.
is, but it's not.
Nope.
It's just make as silly as it sounds. Flirting makes the other person feel better, you know.
Yes.
And then if
Yes.
somebody feels if okay, I flirt with you, you feel better, but because you feel better, that makes me feel better.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just a revolving door of loving energy.
Yeah. If you're on my newsletter, and if you want to be on my newsletter, let me know. But every other Friday, I send out a flirtorial. So flirt
I
tutorial,
like
and
it.
it's a flirtorial. Yeah. And it's just a little
Okay.
challenge. And you hit the nail on the head. You are so right on, because like my challenge 2 weeks ago was, every time you relate to another person, pretend that you are about to give them the gift that they've always wanted, and pretend that they are going to give you the gift that you've always wanted. So
Yep.
you've got that expectation, you've got that, and you're making other people feel good. And it's like, oh, yay, you're here for me and I'm here for you.
Hmm.
And it just makes it exciting. So flaunt is your relationship with yourself, and flirt is your relationship with others. And
Yep.
just like, your friend, yeah, Haggis Hunter enjoys a good flirt. Of course. Don't we
I think
all? Who
I think
doesn't want to be
everybody
flirted?
does. Hold on a second. Dave's got something here. If I get this. Giphy flirts are so much fun. Yes,
Yes.
they are.
Yes, Dave.
I think if everybody is honest with themselves, they all flirt to a certain extent.
Yes. And they all
But
like it, and they all like being flirted with. Nobody doesn't
exactly.
want to be
Nope.
flirted with.
Well,
Yeah.
there are a couple of people. Okay, stop flirting. But no, I think it makes the flirter and the flirtee, but everybody gets
Yes.
happy.
Yes. Even when you tease people, that's your method of flirting. You
Yes,
know,
exactly.
it
That's what I
is.
can't do when my husband's around. No, it is. But that's my personality, and people know it. I mean,
Yes.
I've watched kids grow up from they were holy terrors at 10 years old, zipping in and out, and now they're parents. And of course, the first thing in my mind goes, "Oh my God, I'm old." Nope, I'm not. Nope,
Nope.
I'm not. But I watched them. You watch them grow. You watch the way they interact with people, and it's fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I like how you said about we all flirt differently because it's our
Yeah.
personalities. And sometimes we get locked into a flirt does this. No, they don't. A flirt does whatever. It can be sarcastic, it can be suggestive, it can
Right.
be complimentary, it can,
Go
like,
take
we
your
flirt
glasses
different.
off or leave. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and we have to be it again, going back to authentic. It's we
Yeah.
have to authentically be ourselves, and our way of flirting is all different, and people will resonate when we are in our authenticity.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, again, you cannot change other people. You have to change yourself for yourself or just stay the same.
Yes.
Hold on a
Yes.
second. Scott's got something, and that's probably going to be a good one. I've bypassed a couple of gaydars by being flirty with a couple of blokes over the years. Much, much backpedaling, I think. Much backpedaling.
That's funny.
Well, see, the thing is, the picture that Scott has up there does him no justice, even
I
though
like that
you
picture.
throw a little. He is a platinum blonde Scottish man with a kilt, and he is adorable. And I like to pick on him, and I have his wife's permission. And if he gets smart with me, I message his wife, and she smacks him with the fly swatter. But he's like
Good.
just
Good
one
for
night
her.
blonde. Yes, I like having the wives on my side.
Yes, always.
But you think that's the thing. You have to just sometimes just a smile can be a flirt,
Yes.
and that can change somebody's whole day.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's noticing the good. To
Yeah.
me, people say, glass is half empty, glass is half full, blah, blah, blah. Well, flirting is just being positive and noticing the good. It's, noticing like, I love the color of your top and I love the butterflies on your wall. It's noticing the positive things. And that's
Yeah.
what makes flirting so much fun. And then you relate better and then people notice about you and then they're like, oh, thank you. And it builds everybody up.
Yeah. And we noticed the individually tinted gray hairs that Scott has.
Oh, Scott, I am impressed.
Individually, yeah. Okay. And okay, excuse me, miss. Gina says, Laura, it was nice seeing you. We should talk soon and book you on the Fox Den again. And then you get to see me again.
That would be lovely because you guys are all so much fun.
Oh, it's fun, yes. Well, we are almost out of time. We've got about 5 minutes left. Do you have any events coming up that you want to talk about?
I just, not like a big event coming up because everything got canceled because of COVID. But I'm doing so many random fun Facebook things. If you want to do my burlesque, do that on Wednesday. Join the Flaunt Flock Facebook group if you want to do my Monday morning angel readings. We also just do a lot of fun interacting there. And then my newsletter, I send out the flirtorial every other Friday. So if you want to get better at flirting, jump on the newsletter and let's just have some fun because I'm kind of rolling with it and seeing what opens up and seeing what to do virtually, and it'll just be fun. But yeah, let me know if you want my book. I'm happy to sign it or to put a flirty comment in there.
Got to get it all. There we go. What I'll do is at the end of the show, because I can't post the links while we're live,
right?
Because I'm doing one computer and not doing both, trying to pay attention out there.
Don't do that.
I will post all your links into the show, the comments of the show later. So everybody who's made a comment on the show, you will get the links just there. But in general, just go Lora, Lora, Cheadle, Cheadle. Go there on Facebook, just do it.com, on Twitter, on
everywhere.
Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and .com.
Yes.
Fine. I had to breathe there. And hello, Rob. Almost over, but it's okay. You're still here. But if you want to connect with her, you want to check her out. You don't have to be friends right away. Check out her different things. And trust me, once you check them out, you'll be like happy.
It's fun. And if you go to nakedselfworth.com, you can download the top 20 things that block your sparkle and what to do about them. So if you're feeling a little bit dull, if you're feeling like you need to bring that sparkle back, you can just download that free guide. You just put your name and your email, and then you get the download link and you can download it.
nakedselfworth.com.
You got it.
Just let me close my eyes when certain people type that in. Well, again, I thank you very much for being on the show. You're welcome to go back anytime, especially when the next book comes out. Hopefully before... Thank you, Gina. You got a spelling error there, Gina. Worth, W-O-R-T-H.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, hopefully I get you back before the next book comes out, before Gina gets you. I'm competing with myself. There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here again this week. I will see you all next week when I have Jen Sugarmeyer, and I'm probably saying the name wrong, but we'll see you next week. Thank you. Just hang tight.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.